beautiful biscuits. I hope you were having a lovely April. I hope that you were over on Patreon truly discovering ways to be joyful and happy through the synergy of self-care and homemaker life. It's amazing what I'm sharing over there. I love hearing from you, from the stories of people whose lives are changing for the positive, for so much better, by just coming over there and being a part of the community, because I feel like this year of all years is a year where we want to be building community together. And my Patreon page really offers a sense of togetherness on this journey towards happiness. So part of my journey to happiness has been working from home. I love the flexibility that it gives to work from home. I am more productive, quite honestly, working from home and having a home office and running my own business. But the struggle with that is, if you are new here, hi, I'm Rose Kelly. I am romance author R.M. Kelly. You can check out my books over on Kindle on Amazon. I write very saucy romance fiction. I film on OnlyFans wonderful female gaze romance short films. And I talk over here on YouTube and Instagram about digital nomad life and the whole existence of being a work from home mama, whether that is me building out our farm or during the winter months traveling and seeing the world with my kids. But I have two kids. I have a 2-year-old toddler. I have an 8-year-old wild neurodivergent, wonderful creative boy who both take so much energy and time. And boy, it can be a big struggle as a work from home mama. So I homeschool my kiddos. I mean, mainly my 8-year-old, because a 2-year-old you can't really homeschool, but and I have my 2-year-old full time. So it is a challenge to try and run my business and actually work from home. That is not an easy thing to do. I haven't had any childcare whatsoever for like the last month, which has been absolute insanity trying to juggle that. I try to do like 4 to 8 hours a week of childcare, like 2 4-hour days or 2 3-hour days or something, because it really helps me. Every once in a while I need a longer day of baby care, because like maybe I'm out on location filming, maybe I have some actors that I'm filming a short film with. Those days are long days, but they are few and far between because it is hard to find childcare. So these are ways I actually work from home with my kids around, because a lot of what I do, I have to just accept the kids are going to be underfoot. I need to focus on my computer, on my admin, on my emails, all these things. So these are 5 ways that you can actually work from home as a parent and not completely, just slightly, lose your mind. Cartoons. Oh, you're like, Rose, no, I would never let my child watch cartoons. They only eat organic brown rice, lentils, and they draw with homemade nori paint that's all edible, and I just let them free range around, and then I get all my work done. No, that's not how I parent my child. Cartoons. So I'm finally letting my 2-year-old watch some cartoons here and there, and that's been the last month because no childcare, and I had to like sit there and write out screenplays and reply to emails, and you know, I'm in the middle of casting some models and actors for an upcoming project on OnlyFans, and I just had to be able to get some work done. So I've been putting on a lot more Bluey and a lot more If You Give a Mouse Cookie than I normally would. Sometimes you have to be okay with the season of life, which is putting on some cartoons. I think it's nice because then I can be in the room with the kids. I'm very observant of like what cartoons they're watching. I don't let my kids browse YouTube or browse Netflix for a lot of cartoons. My 8-year-old really wants to just rampage through Netflix and watch all of the like teenager cartoons, and it's been a real struggle to get him not to, because his little Kindle Fire does not have a setting where it lets me turn that off. So I just have to be observant. But cartoons, I know you're gonna be like, oh, that's a lazy answer. It's a practical answer. Modern technology, I use it to my advantage to be able to work from home. Okay, this one I only do when I'm desperate. Meaning I haven't had enough childcare, or the kids have been wild and I haven't been able to work when they've been around. Like, you know, if I give them a sandwich and say, eat at the table, let mommy work. If that hasn't worked, I work when they're asleep. So I actually filmed an entire project in the middle of the night one night. I put them down to bed, got them to sleep, and then I slept for a couple hours. I got up around 3 a.m. I did my hair and makeup, got the lights on, got everything done, and I just filmed an entire short film for a couple hours where they were sound asleep. In my, you know, I went up into my home office, that's a different part of the house, and I can keep a little baby monitor on so I can keep an eye on everybody, and I just get my work done. So sometimes you have to work when the kids are asleep. When I was first growing my business, when Abraham, my son, was a toddler, I would stay up until all hours of the night. And I really tried to not do that anymore, because I literally had doctors tell me, like, you just can't do it. Your body cannot handle that little sleep. So what I'll do is, I'll get my son doing some schoolwork or some crafting. I get my daughter down for her nap, and she contact naps. And so while, there's quiet time and nap time, I will do some admin stuff on my computer while I'm nursing the toddler. Or when they're all asleep, I'll stay up for a couple hours and I get some editing done. So like 2 or 3 hours after they go to bed. And sometimes then that's, waking up an hour early and, replying to emails. Sometimes, I hate to say it, it's not healthy, but sometimes you gotta work when they're asleep. It is not a long-term plan. If you are just starting to work from home or you're trying to figure out how to do it now, don't think that it's a long-term plan that you can do every day. It's something that you do occasionally when you need to get the work done, but it's extremely helpful. Okay, this one I love, actually, this makes me happy, is include them in what kind of work projects you can. So for me, I include my kiddos in filming reels for Instagram, because that's something short and fun. Sometimes my son wants to hold the camera. Sometimes the kids both want to be in it. Sometimes I'll be like extra goofy in between filming reels on my phone to keep them entertained. And that's like short, concise little bit of my work, so that they can get an idea of what mama does in a kid perspective friendly way. And I can include them, and I'm not trying to find babysitter time or work while they're asleep, or have to distract them with cartoons. They can just kind of be a part. And so it depends what your work from home business might be. You might be self-employed, you might work from someone and be office independent. But there's always little ways to include your kids, and it helps my kids kind of understand, why is mom distracted and working? What is this abstract thing? And I know that that's been hard for my kids to understand, is why aren't you full-time mom? Why do you also work? Hopefully long term, when they grow up, they appreciate that I've worked so hard to take care of them, and they're inspired that I do work that I really genuinely actually love and like sharing. I'm hoping they see it that way. At this age, they just see work as something that takes me away from them. And so I really try to include them in what I can. Ooh, okay, biscuits. This is number 5. Delegate what you can. Okay, so I think, and I hear this all the time, people that run their own businesses, delegate, delegate. I think that's a real statement of privilege, because your business has to be doing well enough for you to afford to delegate. So that's not always the case. Sometimes you can delegate to family that'll do tasks for a discount or for free for you, but that's really rare. My family doesn't do that. I love my family. They love me. We support each other completely, but we are not a family of like, nobody ever does anybody any favors for work and stuff. But there are families like that. Generally though, when you're delegating, it's going to come from a place of privilege, meaning your business is doing well enough to do that. But if you can delegate house chores, if you can delegate yard chores, yes, your yarn needs chores. If you can delegate your emails, or if you can delegate automation for your social media or whatever you're doing for work, whatever you can delegate. Like, I delegate out sometimes cover design, like, cover illustration. I still do the design, but the illustration, I'll delegate that out. I am still a place in my business where I do pretty much everything, and I'm waiting for my business to grow enough to where I can feel comfortable delegating. I did have somebody mow my lawn for me once this spring, and they did such a bad job and charged me so much that I was like, I don't know if that was a good use of my resources. But delegate where you can. And you really have to have an honest look at your budget and your needs and figure out what are the things that A, you're better at than everybody else, B, that you actually enjoy doing, and C, that you can afford to delegate out. But these are 5 ways that make it much more practical to actually be able to work from home. And I know a lot of people, they just kind of share like the great sunny side of, oh, work from home is wonderful, I do this all the time, without giving details. Or maybe we just talk about horror stories and not practical things you can apply every day to make it possible to work from home and still be around our kids. I love being able to be mama the majority of time, and then put on my business lady hat and do my business lady work that I love and enjoy, that fulfills me in a way that motherhood just never can, And it's lovely to be able to combine those things. But I want to be a source of support for all you mamas and daddies out there who are trying to work from home and are trying to figure out what's that balance. Okay, biscuits, I'm going to see you where? On Patreon, because we are kicking butt with our self-care. We are making our homes shiny and sparkly. We are making our souls delightfully joyful, and we are making our hearts so burstful of bliss that there is no other path but glorious happiness in life. So come on over, join the community, be a part of what is a community that will touch you and change your life for the better on Patreon. I'll see you over there.